Both Gary Davis and Tim Blair made enormous contributions to the Bridgenorth Football Club during the 1980s. Gary, a Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame member, played 62 games for the Parrots after joining the club in 1982 when he moved across from Launceston, leading Bridgenorth as captain-coach to premierships in 1983 and 84. Tim, a two-time club best and fairest winner, was senior coach in 1981 and 82 and was also a member of the 83 and 84 premiership winning sides. An absolute star on the field as a ruck rover, Tim was named captain of the 1971 to 1999 Bridgenorth All-Star team. This is their story. Well, here with Tim Blair and Gary Davis, both outstanding careers in particularly the early to mid-1980s with the Bridgenorth Football Club. A pretty successful period for them, playing in grand finals and winning premierships. And Tim, I might start with you. You were a senior coach in 81, 82, and then 83, 84, senior premiership with the club as well. What are some of your great recollections of those days that are, don't mean to show your age here, but 40 years ago?
Well, I first come here, Ian Brumby, Jeff and Fred Lack, they come and see me. They sort of knew me because I coached Georgetown 79 till premiership and went back to Launceston for a year, and they come and approached me, so ended up down here, which is a great club.
You were obviously acknowledged as a great leader of the club on and off the field, so much so that you were selected captain of the Bridgenorth All-Star team from 1971 to 1999. That must have been a big honour, but it must also shows a lot of people over that period of time, some 28 years, that you are a natural leader. Was that something that did come naturally to you? Did you like to lead?
Oh, it's just out on the football field, you just play your own game and you've got all your teammates helping you. You know, like it's not a one-man game. There's 18 on the field at a time, so yeah.
And Gary, talk to me a little about your move to Bridgenorth, and obviously that 83-84 period was a very successful one for the club, winning the premierships. But what brought you to Bridgenorth Football Club first of all?
Tim approached me, and so I come down in 82 and played with the club. Got beat in the grand final. And
it was only by about a point, wasn't it, or so?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
So Tim suggested that I take over the coaching.
And talk to me when you made the move from a big club like Launceston. How did you find coming to Bridgenorth? What struck you about the club? Because it's always had a great reputation of being a very welcoming football club. What were your impressions?
It was very low-keyed, I thought. Very, very quiet down here.
And Tim, your influence in getting Gary to come across it. Talk to us. I know people don't like to talk about themselves too much, but I'll get you to do this. What did he bring to the club?
Muscles. Professional, very, very strict. He sort of, when I first come here, training sort of lifted up a level, and which was good. It's got us up to where I got us to, and then when Muscles took over, he just took it up for another level, and the fitness and everything sort of went a long way for us winning 2 premierships.
Yeah. And speaking of those premierships, you beat Georgetown and Hillwood in those 2 years. That must always be nice, beating those two clubs from across the river.
It was nice beating Georgetown, yes.
Were they one of the big main rivals for
Georgetown's top side, yeah. When I coached them, we went through undefeated, and then they beat us by a point in the grand final, so it was just nice to beat them.
You also won the best and fairest in 81 and 83 as well. What did you pride yourself on your game? Take away the coaching and the leadership, but what did you see as your strengths on the field?
Just never give in. Just always attack the ball. Yeah.
And Gary, your impressions of Tim as a player, what struck you as a coach?
Very good. You can play him anywhere in the ruck, full forward, anywhere.
And what's your motto as a coach? Do you have things that have got to be ticked off that this must happen on game day? What was important to you on the game other than just getting the right result? What did you want to see from your team?
Mainly to go out and play football, not fight like the grand final. Couple of blues broke out, and I installed the play football attitude, and it worked. So, yeah.
We've got behind both of you these remarkably great condition, the premiership banners from 1983 and 1984. Tamer Association as it was back then, and I think it was 84 was the last year of the Tamer Football Association. You look at how football's changed now in the last 40 years. We're about to move into a new era. A lot of clubs have obviously, particularly down the West Tamer, have disappeared. Competitions have disappeared. Why do you think Bridgenorth has not only survived when a lot of others have gone, but thriving? What do you think makes this club so strong still?
Just a lot of families involved, like going back generations. People who was on the committee 50 years ago, now their sons and that follow on, and the committee's just fantastic down here. They make the club what it is. Yeah.
Do either of you get along and come and watch a bit of footy down here at Parrot Park still?
One game a year, I reckon we get down here.
Yep, yep. And what's your impressions of the standard of football from back in your day?
Definitely is. There's no such thing as man on man or positions anymore.
Not a lot of one-on-one contests.
No. It's a different game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like whether our game was better or today's game's better to be debated, but completely different game.
Yep.
Need a new fence for your home or property? Then call Tim Blair Fencing today on 0448 522 260. Domestic, rural and industrial, Tim Blair Fencing does it all. With over 30 years experience, you can have confidence that you'll get the best job at the best price. Call Tim Blair Fencing now on 0448 522 260. A proud Bridgenorth Football Club sponsor.
The contribution to the Bridgenorth Football Club of the Lack family over generations is almost immeasurable. In this episode, we sit down with Tim Lack. Tim reflects on his own time with the club and that of other family members. It's a rich history, and as we celebrate our centenary, we as a club say thank you to each and every member of the Lacks. Well, with our next guest, Tim Lack, and Tim, must be some pretty good memories as we sit here in the interchange. I'm sure you weren't on the bench too often, were you, in your career? But what memories does it bring sitting back here at Parrot Park and you look out, the ground's in great shape? Must bring back some memories for you?
It does. It does bring back a lot of memories, and it seems so long ago that only for the first 30 years of my life that's all we knew was football. With my father my father and grandfather being involved in the club, and my brother, of course, and cousins and uncles and everything were involved. So, for the first 30 years, that's all I knew was football. Every Saturday, every year, then went into underage, and then later on into reserves and seniors, of course. But the memories. I think the biggest memories here are probably mateship, camaraderie. there's so many people have gone through the club, and the club's touched so many people. And I think the pride of the club, and particularly people that have played in it or with it and over the years, I think one of the biggest prides is that it's still going and how strong it is. And I think the administration in any club or organisation is key to that surviving. And it's testament to the fact that a lot of clubs down the river and on both sides of the river, and not only here, are no longer with us. And Bridgenorth, that hasn't got a town, is still going. So, yeah, I think that's one of the proudest things, I think, and probably you often marvel at that, but it comes from strong administration, which I mentioned before, and that came right from when the club was formed. So in 25, and then later on, the war, obviously the war got in the way. And I know my grandfather, and again a lot of my uncles and relations, which you do get in countryside areas, that were all involved in those early committees and the formation of the club. And again, the administration is the thing that's carried it through. You can have a champion team or 2 or 3 times, but if there's no administration there or strength in that, it folds the next year. So that's been our strength over many years, and now the current administration's going amazingly well as well. So.
And do you take an ongoing interest in the club and how it's going? I mean, you obviously still live in the area here.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't get to as many games as I'd like to, because and a lot of players and sports people attest to this, that once you get out of doing something every week, suddenly there's another life. So
yes.
But yeah, I've been involved, particularly with my son Damon, playing is through the unders, underage, and then into senior football as well. Now, of course, he's finished as well. But yeah, still come over to the reunions and the odd game, so it's really good.
Was it always Bridgenorth for you? Did you play anywhere else?
No.
Bridgenorth through and through, and I guess continuing that family legacy. And as you touched on, it's a team with no town, and a lot of clubs and competitions, leagues that Tamar, West Tamar have gone by the wayside. What are some of your great memories? Because you played a lot of games. I think over 180 senior games with the Bridgenorth. What are some of your great memories of playing?
Probably most memories. I didn't get enough kicks. Is probably the most one. No, I think the biggest memory, good and bad, was probably the 1980 grand final in the reserves. That was my first year playing. We won that. We came from outside the top four in those days, and only just managed to get into the top 4, and we ended up winning the premiership of Michael Butt coaching, and there was a lot of my contemporaries. My brother Barry played as well. We had a very young team, and I know that was a reserves premiership, but it was one of those things that stick in your mind forever, and it was an early thing. Then we played in a lot of finals. We weren't that successful until 83 and 84 with the 2 premierships. I didn't play in 83, I hurt my knee. In 84, I ended up playing all year, injured, and couldn't play in the grand final. So that was my downside. It
would have been devastating.
That was my downside thing. But yeah, there's a lot of great players.
Yeah.
I could sit here and name them all day. That managed to cover for me. They were fantastic players.
Who'd you always like to play against? Which team?
Didn't like to play against anyone.
Was it a big rivalry that in your era?
Well, early on, I guess at Exeter, you had to beat Exeter in the early times, and then later on, Georgetown was always a team that was very difficult to beat. They were always good to play against. Apart from that, there was no one particular team really.
The LAC name continues. There's a great legacy, obviously, with your father, the Kevin Lack Medal for best and fairest of seniors, and certainly very appropriate. He won 9 of them. Incredible.
He did, absolutely incredible. And again, growing up, it's difficult to explain a bit in that he never spoke. Rarely did he ever speak about his football as far as him playing goes. Everyone else would tell you about it, or everyone around him, his contemporaries, would tell you how good a player he was.
Just a very modest man.
Yeah, extremely honest man, and had no great expectations, never pushed for us, my brother and I, to play, but it was always loved coming to watch. I'm guessing he was probably a bit disappointed in my performance later on. He was probably expecting if I was half as good, I'd have probably been good, but it was up to other people to tell you how good he was, and it was rarely he spoke if people talked to you about his best and fairest, he'd just sort of mumble, I don't know, mumble, and that was it. Yeah, it was extremely modest.
It's an extraordinary effort in anyone's language, in any sport and with any club, to win 9 best and fairest, let alone senior best and fairest as well. But you must be very proud of the fact that the legacy, the name continues to be associated with this club as we now enter a significant period, obviously, with 100 years.
Indeed. We are very fortunate to have been involved, and certainly proud of the club and all their achievements, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Tim, it's great to catch up, and thank you. Thanks for what you've done for the club, and obviously the legacy that continues. And so many people that have been associated with this club still living. We don't have a town, but many of them are living so close in proximity still as well. But you're looking very fit and well. I mean, there might be a position as runner with this club next year. Can they come and give you a call?
I might get a game of the bench.
Good on you. Thanks.
No worries.
Foot and Playstead, a locally owned and operated printing company servicing the community with high-quality commercial printing and design. Foot and Playstead has been trusted by generations of businesses throughout Tasmania to deliver innovative and quality printed products. Proudly supporting the Parrots for all their printing needs for over a quarter of a century. Foot and Playstead.